What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Pulsechain. Pulsechain is on its way. It's the brainchild of Richard Hart, the man behind Hex. And Hex has done like 1,000 times gain in the past, 2 years. So the guy knows his stuff. I actually love his vibe when he's talking. So I want to get into everything to do with that. Before I do, as always, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I've held. First 26 coins I've spoken about on the channel that I invested in. Had you invested $100 into each of these when I release videos about them and you're still holding that crypto, you're in profit for over 38 grand. They're not the coins I hold anymore. And if you want to see what I hold, come check out Copy My Cryptos, where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell, how I'm preparing my portfolio and what I'm planning to do on a daily basis. And not just that, when I'm planning to make moves when the market's down or up. One thing I reiterate to everyone is build a list of coins you're excited about. I've been building a list for 3 years plus of coins that I'm super excited about for the long term. When they retrace, they're still hitting their roadmap targets, they're partnering well, and I'm still bullish on them. And they've had that retracement, and if they've got a shot 40, 50, 100, 200x, I'm going to be sharing them with everyone in the membership. So if you want to be a part of that, click the link in the description. Check it out. Right. Pulsechain. Pulsechain, if you're unfamiliar, is going to be a project that launches probably within the next month or two. Certainly before Ethereum's 2.0. And Richard Hart has spoken about this on countless times. I really recommend people actually go and have a listen to what he has to say about Pulsechain and its plans. I'll try and do it justice in terms of a synopsis, but look, he highlights that Ethereum right now isn't good enough. The fees are too high. And there's a way you can approach that. You can either increase demand or you can increase supply. Effectively, that's what he's gone for. He's doing an Ethereum fork. He's increasing supply. So Pulsechain is going to be the network. What he's also pointed out is, look, the issue that we've got within a number of blockchains is bridges. Now, bridges are constantly hacked, and we see bridges that end up being hacked for multiple millions of dollars. Solana's got done. We've seen Polygon nearly get done. They caught it just in time. And they're not reliable. So what's happening with Pulsechain is basically once they're in testnet right now, it's going to be up and running, like I said, within a couple of months. And basically, it's going to be the largest airdrop in history because you're going to get a carbon copy of those tokens that you've got in your MetaMask wallet that are immediately tradable on the Pulsechain network. So you don't have to bridge from Ethereum to Pulsechain. It's simply a fork that's been tested. The throughput is already better. They've dropped it down to, I think, 3-second blocks from 13, I believe, is what he said. So the throughput's already higher. You don't need to utilize a bridge because, again, there's costs with bridges removed. And then on top of that, it's already better, a more efficient system. So they've got proof of stake already. They've also got delegated proof of stake, so you're still holding your keys, because that's an issue with Ethereum 2.0. You need 32. So you've got to entrust your private keys effectively to, so that you can participate in staking. That's risky if you're a part of Ethereum and you don't have the whatever 32 is going to cost right now, 96 grand. So for you to participate in ETH 2.0, you're going to have to share your private keys with someone effectively. You've got to entrust someone else to look after your crypto. That's not a good way to live. That's not a good way to be. And that's not the point of crypto. Private keys are meant to be for you, right? You don't share them ever. So again, this facility is not a problem for Pulsechain. They've got, like I say, proof of stake, delegated proof of stake. So you keep hold of your stuff. The whole purpose of this is to have a better network that helps the users in a more cost-effective manner, right? You've got your carbon copy tokens, so you can just use them straight on Pulsechain. So they're going to have Pulse Swap. Then on top of that, no issues in terms of bridging, no costs, because they've increased the supply. There's going to be a massive supply with regards to Pulsechain, but that means your throughput, your fees when you're doing any action on Pulsechain should be massively reduced compared to what we're seeing on Uniswap or basically any Ethereum exchange or DEX. We're looking at times swap fees of $200,000-$300,000 sometimes. We're looking at transaction costs that are sometimes 20, 40, $50 to just send your crypto there. That's not good. You'd be really pissed off if a bank was charging you that, but Ethereum, they end up being the costs. So I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. You've got to bear in mind this guy created Hex. Hex, I don't understand why CoinMarketCap have ranked this 202, like 202nd, because it's obviously not. It's got $21 billion market cap. It's enormous. In the beginning of 2020, it was ridiculously cheap. You could get it for effectively 1,000 times less than what it is right now. 10,000 times less, sorry, at points. We've seen enormous growth in this, and fair play to him. He's done an incredible job. So there's been a lot of people that have participated in what's called a sacrifice. So that's where they sacrifice crypto so that they could get. It's like considered a donation, effectively, to getting in for the development of this. But you also, if you sacrificed, you end up getting a Pulsechain airdrop. So you get the token airdrop. The Pulse Swap one was pretty massive. So this is the total sacrifice during the ranked volume bonus phase. And this is just on Ethereum. So there are sacrifices on other chains as well. But you're looking at $975 million that was sacrificed by people to participate in PulseX. Staggering amounts of money. And why? Because people trust and believe in the team behind this and Richard Hart. And anyone that was an early investor in Hex, for sure believes in Richard Hart, because he's proven to have an exceptional mind when it comes to this. And what's really going to be interesting is, look, PulseX is what's bringing the liquidity to Pulsechain. PulseX will have a 0.29% fee that users pay on every swap. That's less than SushiSwap, Trader Joe, QuickSwap, Uniswap. 76% of all trading fees could be distributed to liquidity providers. 21% could be used to buy and burn the PulseX token, and that will reduce its supply over time. 0.01% of a trade's value goes to an address you must have no expectations of. I quite like that. And the point is that there's going to be liquidity everywhere, right? So centralized liquidity means the best deals for users because it results in low slippage. It also means that fewer arbitrage bots become rich, equalizing the prices from different liquidity sources. And we've seen that. There's lots of examples on YouTube of sort of arbitrage in place, whether you want to use PancakeSwap and Bakery Swap, or PancakeSwap and Ape Swap, or whatever it is. So there's a real interesting. This is a hugely interesting concept, but fundamentally, what they're going to have, this is effectively a fork of PulseX is going to be a fork of Uniswap. I don't know if I've used fork right there. So it will work exactly like Uniswap. It will allow people to trade currencies from other chains on PulseX. So PulseX will have their PRC20s. right? Which are just your copies of anything you had in your, like, Ethereum MetaMask as an example. And once they're copied over, you literally change the settings on your MetaMask in the exact same way you change a setting to go from Ethereum to Binance Smart Chain. There'll be a Pulsechain one, and then through PulseX, you'll be able to use on Pulsechain. You'll be able to use their PulseX, which, like I said, is a copy of Uniswap, and do your swaps. But the swaps are minimal. Like, the fees are minimal. Every time people swap from one coin to another on the PulseX liquidity providers that earn fees as rewards, the users can then bridge in their ERC20s and pair them with the free PRC20s in order to provide liquidity and earn fees. So it also backs the value of all these PRC20s that they got for free. So this is a huge thing where all these tokens effectively airdropped to anyone that was effectively a sacrifice. This is a truly fascinating concept. We've seen a lot of Ethereum forks. Some have been crap. Some have really been crap. So it will be interesting to see how this goes, because I genuinely believe this could be massive. Like, I don't see how it doesn't end up being massive, because everyone that used Hex, and there's a hell of a lot of people that have used Hex, will be using Pulsechain. And as people realize that they can swap the same goddamn tokens that they held on as an ERC20 because they've got a copy of it on Pulsechain, why wouldn't you use PulseSwap? It's a really interesting one. This is an enormous airdrop. They quote it biggest airdrop in history, and they're not wrong, because you're talking about airdropping PRC20s and copies of your ERC20s. And yeah, it's really intriguing. And what it does as well, by the way, is it improves Ethereum, because it shares the load that Ethereum has. The Ethereum network gets wrecked so easily because of congestion, and then the fees skyrocket. Fees aren't going to be fixed by by going to proof of stake. I've been saying this. The fees aren't going to get better. But this idea shares the load, takes a load off of Ethereum. It might actually improve Ethereum's not throughput, but it might improve Ethereum's fees. Genuinely really good concept. Really, really good concept. So I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. Because like I said, their goals are pretty clear. Ethereum's fees will be lowered by sharing its load. That would be good for everyone. It will enrich Ethereum users because Pulsechain will re-enable priced out use cases. So instead of launching empty, Pulsechain brings the Ethereum system state and ERC20s so that it rewards the holders and founders of Ethereum-based projects. The launch of Pulsechain is going to be the largest airdrop in history. Thousands of Ethereum-based tokens and NFTs receive their free Pulsechain versions. The new Gold Rush contains the value discovery of thousands of tokens and NFTs on Pulsechain. And if you always wanted to be a whale in a certain ERC20 or NFT, maybe now you can be. It's easy to use because it's literally a swap. You just change your settings exactly how you do with BNB. If you're going on Binance Smart Chain, or you're going on Avalanche, or you're going on whatever. Lowers the Pulsechain fees and serves more users. Pulsechain increased the throughput of Ethereum 4 times by using 3-second block times. By replacing proof of work miners with proof of stake validators, Pulsechain doesn't waste any energy, making it environmentally friendly. It has zero inflation. Validators only earn fees, and 25% of the fees are burned to reduce the circulating supply. So he's thought about it in terms of game theory, and it empowers Pulsechain holders. The native token can be staked and delegated, and to validators that reward the delegators with the largest percentage of fees. And interoperability bridging, because they're not using a bridge, it works perfectly. You can send ETH to the Pulse Bridge contract on ETH, which locks it and issues PETH. And you can send PLS to the ETH bridge, contract on Pulsechain, which locks it and issues an PLS, an ETH pulse. And it can work for all the ERC20s as well. Fascinating. Really fascinating. Genuinely really intrigued. I'm really looking forward to this launching because I can't wait to genuinely try it. It's going to be, like I said, you've got to go on a history of success. You've got to go on someone's history. And this guy, Richard Hart, his history with Hex is second to none, really. How many people have achieved what he's achieved with one crypto? And there was so much shit going on around Hex, and people saying it's a scam. It's not. We know it's not. It's a smart contract, earner. But it's done insanely well. $22 billion. So if Pulsechain, or even PulseSwap do a 10th of that, there's going to be people that are made very rich from this. It's a very, very intriguing premise. I'm really looking forward to seeing the launch, and I'm sure this is going to get a lot of coverage. I'm not seeing many people covering it other than Richard Hart himself. And this should be something that everyone's paying attention to, because fundamentally, people have donated over $1 billion. That's 975 million, right? But that's just Ethereum. So users around the world have donated over $1 billion, or sacrificed over $1 billion to get early access to this. So, I'm sure there's big hopes here, and I'm sure the people that sacrificed have gotten very, very high hopes in terms of what can be achieved. But you go off of history, and he's achieved a lot. So I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think about the potential here? Do you think you're going to try the Pulse Swap when it launches? Do you think you're going to try utilizing Pulsechain and seeing if it is a better version of Ethereum? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you know when new content is coming out, guys. And that is it from me. If you're new to crypto, come check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell, and how I'm seeing the markets on a daily basis, along with what I'll be doing when a bear cycle or a bull cycle kicks in fully. Well, bear cycle is the one we're all waiting for, because that's when the money and the best investments are made. Your life-changing wealth is made. So if you want to see what coins I'm going to be getting into when the bear cycle kicks in as well, then click the link in the description and join up. Anyway, take it easy. Bye-bye.